Welcome to Better Marriage Daily. I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And this is where we show you how to, I keep messing that up. We give you tips on how to have a better marriage daily.
Yes.
And show you what you can do to love each other in spite of each other. Because there's a whole bunch of in spite of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're gonna get right in it today. Just right in it today. Right in it today. Tell them what we get into.
Today I posed a question for my husband. I was just thinking, I listened to a few people on social media, and they were talking, and it made me think of my husband. They were talking about marriage, and it made me think of our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, would you ever, if something happened, God forbid something happened, whether it's, through one of us, passing or something like that, would we do this again? Would we get married again? Would we want to? And what our thoughts would be on that subject. And I don't know, it had me deep in thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was so deep in thought, you brought it to me.
I did. I wanted to know if he would do it, if he would do it again, get married again. And so he said,
what about you?
What about you?
Because I had thoughts. I had thoughts about whether she would or not. And she said, well, I got very detailed reasons as to why.
I do.
And so I'm here to hear. I'm with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Mm-hmm. Because, when I started thinking about it, I'm like, that is a deep question. That's a, you just can't give throw out this answer, but I thought about all of it, from the dating part. Would I want to do all of that again, to get to know a person again, to get close enough to them to even want to get married again? And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that I would want to do the marriage thing again. I have to say think, because you never know. You can't say.
You wasn't trying to get married when you met me?
Well, no, not then. I wasn't thinking about marriage then. I mean, that was for the future. It wasn't for right then. So, I started just thinking about all of that. Like what it would take, first of all, if I don't think that there would be anyone else on this earth that could give me what I needed the way you have.
Ooh.
I don't think that there's another person that could do that could love me the way that you love me. So
show's over, y'all. We got to go to the bedroom.
So, it could be a complicated, answer, but for me to want to take that step after being married to you, and especially if, God forbid, death, I just don't know. No, there's no one that can compare to you, and the love that you've given me, the patience and all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of just strength it would take, I think, to do that again, to just sow into someone like that. I don't think that I have it in me to do. I've done a lot of changing, a lot of introspection, a lot of praying, a lot of just everything. This. I've been maybe 7 women.
20. 20.
With you.
20 different ones.
And I don't
Vanessa
think
30.5.
I don't think that I could do that. I don't think there'd be anybody else that would treat me with the care that you do. So that kind of a commitment, I really don't think so. You know, and the time in what we've gone through together, the seasons we've gone through, you know, it's there have been some seasons where we really had to work through things and work things out, whether it was because of us, whether it was because of, you know, just things happening, life happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think that I would have the strength to do that with anybody else. I don't think. You know, I love my life with you. I love that now, after all of these years, I feel safe. And remember, we talked about safe, being, you know, my feeling safe. It's taken all of this time for me to feel that way.
You ain't got 30 more years.
And I do not.
You got 25 more years to feel safe.
I do not. So I would say probably not.
Wow.
Probably not.
Wow.
Because in my eyes, there wouldn't be anybody else on this earth like you. And there isn't.
No, I'm
you know?
There's nobody like you either. Wow.
Yeah. I don't see it. I maybe
you're not supposed to see it right now.
No, but I know.
I don't see it right now.
I don't see that I would be that open. Yeah. I don't think that I would ever open my heart up the way that I have with you. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, I couldn't. I don't believe I could do it. You know, having companionship, that's something totally different. But the married, wanting to be married and to live with someone else, to learn someone else, to, you know, to have them learn me and all everything that comes along with me, you know, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, because whenever she brought that up to me, I told her, I said, shoot, nah, bro, you ain't gonna do it. I was like, you're gonna be in exactly the same place you was when I met you. If I want to be bothered with you, come on over. If I don't bother me.
Yeah, but there are different reasons now. And the reasons that I've just given you, it's a lot. And it's like I told you, it's a lot deeper now.
It's a lot deeper.
You know, it's a lot deeper now that I know what love is, what I need, you know, what you need. We know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Even though we're evolving, but we know each other and we're doing those things together. We're evolving together.
Yeah.
You know, and I just don't. Yeah, you can speak for yourself, but.
Well, I ain't got nothing to say now because you just made it just. It's just what I'm supposed to say.
Deep. It's too deep for you.
It's not deep. It's just what I'm supposed to say. You just told the world that it's only you, baby. If it ain't you, it ain't nobody.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm up here going, see the way my life's set up. You know, that little Christian walk that I got. You know, one thing I gotta have. And I will be procuring, you know, should that at some point after the mourning period is over, I'd be procuring that thing. And I think my conscience wouldn't let me just keep procuring that thing from different sources. And I think I would end up, finding someone to settle down with and live the rest of my life with, depending on when that happened. You see what I'm saying? Because you were a solitary being. You don't have no problem being in your peaceful space.
No.
By yourself.
No.
And be bothered when you want to be bothered and whatever. And, you know, you can, I'm a social person.
Yeah.
I'm like I used to tell you, I'm like that little monkey, baby. You know, the little monkey that's born and they starve him of attention. He just died.
Yeah.
He died because he ain't got no attention.
Right.
You know, I said, so that's me. But yeah, you're right. You know, it would be very hard to invest this much into somebody else
Mhm.
at this late stage of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that would be one thing. So it would have to be somebody who was just like, just close enough to where it was gonna be easy.
Mhm.
And we serve a big God. I mean, if it's His will that we not be alone, and it's in His
Right.
word, then somebody will come along and you would do it. But what you're saying is you wouldn't be. It would take a lot for you to invest that kind of time and be open to even be open to that.
Oh, to be open to that.
Yeah, to be open.
I have totally bought into our life together and to us
Mm-hmm.
and everything that we have done to get where we are on 7/1 of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that it's taken, whether it's been, like I said, whether it's been me, whether it's been you, whether it's been us, whether it's been the struggles of life.
Yeah.
And then to do that and walk into a marriage with someone else.
Well, you got it. So let's say, God forbid, it be something anytime soon.
Mhm.
But let's just say it's regular old age just passing away.
Right.
At that point, then God is going to forgive us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be 75 years old talking about I'm getting married.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just don't. It don't feel like. It don't feel like that way.
Yeah.
It just don't feel.
I'm
I ain't saying I wouldn't, but I'm just saying if it's that late in the game, I mean, I don't see it.
I'm just.
I'll be like
not.
them old people. Be like them old people when we was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
When
the aunties and
spouse,
uncles.
when their spouse die,
Mm-hmm.
that's Mr. So and So.
Yeah.
He never becomes uncle.
Never.
He's always Mr. So and So till they die.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody know that that's her person.
Mm-hmm.
But he never moved in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He always had his own stuff.
Right.
But they was always
they were
together.
companions and that that part. But the investment.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that in me to be investing like that.
Well, I just did a little search. It says the likelihood of remarrying after a spouse's health depends on several factors, including age and gender.
Mm-hmm.
Age: people who are widowed before 35 have a higher probability of remarrying, while the likelihood decreases with age. For example, less than 5% of women over 55 and less than 25% of men over 65 remarry.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, less than 5%. So y'all are way less. Y'all, and maybe it's because y'all have had to do so much. Like, okay, so there's the opposite of you. There's the women who the husbands have put them through so much crap that they're like, I ain't doing that again.
Right.
And then there's the ones like you who are like, I've had to adjust my comfort zone and myself to live with this person. So I'm not doing that again.
Right.
Whereas the men over 65, 25% of men over 65 never remarry. Less than 25% of men over 65 remarry.
Mm-hmm.
So after 65, a quarter of the men is like, I'm just going to chill.
No. Yeah.
I'm going to chill. And then, so men are more likely to remarry than women, especially within the first 2 years of widowhood. For example, one study found that 61% of men and 19% of women were either remarried or involved in a new romance 25 months after their spouse's death. Other factors that may predict remarriage include higher income, education, and psychological well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then another thing says
sense.
2% of widows and 20% of widowers get remarried. So this is one stat that we fall right in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It depends on the season in life, but no, I just the investment that it would take. No, I've done the work. I've been doing the work with you, and I would not want to do that kind of work with anyone else. No.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty wild, and like, even though it's a doom and gloom subject, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't believe she picked that subject. But even though
I don't know, I've been thinking about it for a few days now.
Yeah, even though it's a doom and gloom subject, it really, that really touched me just now. You really open, you opening up. I'm like, oh,
right.
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
And just like a man, I'm like, let's turn off the cameras, baby.
Yeah. I was just wondering, but I my thought for you would be that you would probably get married again.
I don't know. It just depends. No, I'm being real. I'm being
depending
serious.
depending on the season of life that we were in.
Depending on the season of life I'm in.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in a season of life, if I'm in the 65 plus club, first of all, for me, that's like I'm believing that'll be a time where I'm just living la vida loca.
Right.
Like we are just enjoying all life. Look, everything that life has to offer. So if I'm not doing that with you, because that's how I am now. I don't really enjoy fully whenever you don't get to be with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it would be different if I was out there trying to do that and you're gone from the earth. It would be like, even if I was with somebody, I'd probably find I'm saying, man, Vanessa would love this.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would have to,
because we would have spent a lot of time together. Many years, decades.
Matter of fact.
What?
Let's just say 21 years old. Let's say somebody gets married at 21 years old, right? So do you realize that now we have been married longer than we've not been? We have been together longer than we've not been. Let's just give it a 21.
Right.
You were 36 when we got married. I was 32. Right? My 32nd year. Right?
Yeah.
We're at 23 years right now.
Yeah.
And you're right there at 23 years from 36.
Yeah.
Is 59. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have been together in our adult lives. We have been together more than we've been apart.
Wow. Yeah. And you say the doom and gloom subject. I don't think it is not.
It's doom and gloom because when you think about it, it's super sad.
But I'm thinking about
like I'm
also
crying. I'm tearing up.
The testament of how we've done this thing, how we've come together, how we've grown. We haven't I can't remember a time in the marriage where I felt like we've grown apart. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember a time where I felt that way. You know what I'm saying? I've never felt that way. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, I don't know. The subject is kind of
because I asked somebody for some topics and said, "What do you do whenever you've grown apart? How do you get back?" And I asked her, and she said, "I don't think we've ever grown apart." And I said, we've not grown apart like people who say they have irreconcilable differences and they've grown apart. We haven't done that. But we've definitely gotten into a rut and comfort level and struggle level that made us not really feel like we were relating because there was so much going on to try to make it.
Life. Yeah.
Life was life. Life was life. And like when she was working graveyards, we just got married, she working graveyards. We dealing with, 2 separate cities and, she got to go work and it's just a lot. And she don't, her daytimes aren't really daytimes. And this one loves her sleep and she don't get her sleep. It's not good. And so when she's up, there's no relating. When she's off, there's no relating because there's only one day off because the next day and the day after that is thinking about the day that's coming 2 days later. So a 3-day weekend is only a 1-day weekend. It's a day and a half. It's a half-day weekend because you work the Friday. Saturday you get it, but on the Saturday evening you're like, oh God, start getting ready for work tomorrow. So she never really have the time. Yeah. So and then I was up there going like, well, we need to do something. I can't. I'm gonna be tired. And so for me,
or I'm tired,
or I am tired. And for me, that wasn't us drifting apart, but that was just us like not even relating. We were more roommates than married people in that aspect because all we were doing was working and paying bills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all we was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and whenever, you know, I realized that, and I would push to do stuff. And every time I push you to do stuff, you'd enjoy it, you know, unless, you know, if and until you would remember that you got to go to work. And then the enjoyment would leave your face.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we could keep you distracted, you was all right.
Yeah.
But as soon as you had the time to think about it, you was like,
suck the joy right out of me.
Oh man, the joy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The joy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've never drifted apart. We were always together, always rock side. There was never an opportunity for anyone or anything to come between us like that, because, you know, my thing has always been, you know, I'm gonna be married once, and I'm gonna be married until we're not. One of us ain't here, or we both ain't here, you know. And so I was like, and I'm gonna fight and use everything at my disposal to make sure that we have a most abundant marriage.
Right.
So even whenever we were working and you were in
and
your
working
zone,
and working through,
I was pushing to make sure we related. And you know, and you were like, "Oh man, I gotta work, and we can't be doing." I said, "It's okay. You gotta take the time."
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to make sure that we related, because I knew the boys was gonna grow up.
Right.
And when the boys grow up, I was like, "Look, you got to take time at some point, because when they leave, I don't want to be no stranger."
Right.
So
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, we had date night for a while, but then date night became a job for her. You know, because she's like, "Oh, I mean, I get what you're doing." I get what you're doing, but I don't need that really, and it just makes me more tired. So I'm like, and then I go on the road, and I call, "Where you at?" "Me and Eric at the movies."
Because they wanted to get me out of the house. I'm here all by myself. They were like,
but when I'm
then
home,
I'd be like, "No, I don't
and
think so. I'm just tired."
I'm petty. I'm being petty.
Girl, you need to get out of that house. Sean is gone.
It ain't take that much convincing. It ain't take that much convincing at all.
It did take convincing.
"Hey,
no,
girl, what's up, Sean?
no.
Gone. Let's go to the movies."
No,
and I used
sir.
I used to love going to the movies.
No, sir. That was
I'm
not.
going to the movies
That
now.
is not my story.
That ain't your story?
I was good being home.
And you sticking to it?
I was good. I've always been good being home.
You have been, but it just didn't look right. It just didn't look good on paper.
I understand the look of it.
Yeah, the look of it, the perception of it was not cool at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got through it. But yeah, so we never really grew apart. But so back on the subject, she said what she said about, you know, should something happen to me, and should something happen to her, God forbid, you know, yeah, I'd be devastated.
Oh, definitely.
I would definitely be devastated. Yeah. And man, I just, you know, like, put it this way, y'all. So I was watching Dark Matter, right? It's a new show that's out, right? Well, it won't be new by the time you see this, but it's a show that came out. I forgot what network it was on, but the whole premise of the story is a different version of him in an alternate reality made a time machine, made a way to travel the multiverse. And he got to the point to where he had everything, but he regretted not trying with the woman he thought was the love of his life, right? So he gets into the box and goes and kidnaps the other version of him in the reality in which they're happy together, right? And so he takes the other guy and sends him back to his reality, because he's like, well, his thought process is, well, he didn't go for it. He can go and live my life where he's got all the money and the fame and the thing that he thought about worked, and I made it happen, and we made it happen, so go enjoy that. But all dude could think about was getting back to his family.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it for y'all, but he all he could think about was getting back to him. And so I'm just watching it, and I'm welling up. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm like, man, wait a minute. I don't know if I like the movie. I like the premise. I like this, but man, I could see myself being the exact same way. I could see myself. I'm like, no, this ain't my Vanessa. This ain't mine.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I got to get back to mine.
Yeah, and he did that.
I mean, he man, hell or high water. That man was going.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I won't tell you the finale, but that love was so strong that it was multiplied, and I can't tell you, but it was amazing.
Yeah, and you know, one thing about the subject, it would not be fair to the other person because I would always be comparing that person to you. You know?
Oh yeah.
I can see it.
Oh girl, I do it now.
You know,
I be thinking about it.
It would not be fair to
like
them.
when I used to get mad at you for
yeah.
Then I'd be like, well, if I had somebody who was on that same level with me in that area, they'd probably be a high performing person like I am with a lot of stuff going on, which means that would be, we'd have the same situation.
Yep.
Except it would be because we're too busy. Right? And then on top of that, to have somebody who's as driven as I am and creative as I am and doing all these different things like I am, we would definitely grow apart.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We would grow apart. We'd have to try to do it on purpose, but it would be hard.
I agree.
It'll be hard. You know? And so the fact that, you know, God gave me exactly what I what I wanted, and I chose correctly because you always got a choice. You always have a choice.
Yeah.
And the fact that you like being home and that you take care of home was one of the things that I was just like, the fact that I could trust you to run the house.
And run it, I do. And run it, I do.
Run it, you do. I mean, you know, because that's huge. That was huge because it's like, you know, and when I say run the house, I don't mean housekeeping.
No.
I mean run the house. Like
run the business of the house, of home. The business of home.
Yeah, and if I need her to do stuff and take care of the business and the house and anything for the house and anything for us, is getting done. And I won't have to be like, hey, did you remember to do that? I won't have to remember. You know, that's huge. For me, that was huge. You know, because I'll be the one running all over the place. And you don't like to run over. Okay, I'll run all over the place. I ain't got a problem with that. You know, I'll go and gather the monies, the three monies from all over the four corners of the earth and bring them back. I ain't got a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you like, yeah, go get it. Because I ain't got no problem staying here till you come back.
Right. Right. Baby, you want to no before you can get it out.
Man, I'll be like, you don't want to go? No. And now, so we can get a even though we got a brand new one, so we can get that new sponsorship. Tempur-Pedic people holler at us because listen,
holla, we need.
We were at the largest indoor water park resort in the country recently, and the beds gave her the blues.
Gave me the blues.
She's like, I don't even want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be
I'm ready
here.
to go. And we were only there for 2 days.
Don't want to be here.
2 days. She only slept in 2 nights. And
I dreaded it.
And by that third day, she was like, oh, I'm so ready to go.
I'm so ready to get in my bed.
Beds are so important.
It
is. Shoes and mattresses, y'all.
And mattresses.
It'll change your lives because, you know, whenever your body's not right and your mattress ain't right, you don't feel good. And when you don't feel good, you can't relate to your highest level and potential. So, you know, invest that money in your shoes, so your feet, because, you know, you need your feet because you can't go nowhere if you ain't got your feet.
A little public service announcement.
Take care of your feet. Take care of your feet and get some sleep.
Get good sleep. Good sleep.
So, y'all, that was pretty much it. We just wanted to, you know, just pose that question because, you know, it hit her and she was like, hey, would you get married?
I wanted to discuss it.
I said, well, you know, I'd probably get married. I don't know when. Because of my faith beliefs that, you know, because I know I'm not gonna stop when I start after you gone, after my mourning period. But starting, I'll be like, man, I ain't trying to get married. But then knowing myself, if I don't get married,
yeah, you would get married before me.
Oh, for sure. If put it this way, if y'all had to put money on who would get married first, put it in the comments. People that know us, put that in the comments. People that don't, just from what you know about us. She told you, but You know, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. The only reason I thought about it is because you want to talk about it on here. I don't like thinking about stuff like that.
No, I don't either. But it, I wanted to know. I had an idea, but I know what I did know is that you did not know my feelings.
I did not.
You didn't know all of that.
But when you mentioned it, I did get 90% of that right, 95% of that right. When I gave you my thoughts, I said I don't think you would, because you wouldn't want to A, B, C, D, and you said all that stuff. So. But then you said the other stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Nobody would compare. Period. I'm like, it's not even.
Yeah. Well, thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
So we've just shown y'all that, just thinking about each other and really being invested in a relationship is long lasting, even after one potentially is gone. And if you're doing it on purpose, and if you're doing it, to be together and to learn each other and really out-love each other, like we say, we out-love each other every day. We try every day to out-love each other. And if you're really doing that, then you're going to have something special, because you only get one life. You don't get a do-over.
No.
Unlike that movie where you can go into another. That ain't our story.
No.
That is not our story. So, here on earth, and you watching this, that you only have one life. You only have one life to live. So live it to the best of your potential. And if you have someone that you've chosen to live with and live this life and do life with, invest everything you got into them. Don't let thinking the grass is greener have you cause you to split your interests.
Right.
Don't do that, because when you're gonna get on that side, if you don't water your grass, it's gonna turn brown too. So if you water the grass, you got it.
Yes.
We live in a hurricane prone area. When the hurricanes come through and they kill all the grass because the trees and fell and everything that fell in them, right? The people that the ones that don't water their grass and don't take care of their grass, eventually it grows back.
Yeah, eventually.
But it just takes so much longer. Long time. So much longer. But if you take care of it, if you feed it and nourish it, and cut it and tend it and prune it and get the stuff out, if you do that, it might even come back looking better than it was before. So
quite possible.
So tend your own garden, cut your own grass, water your own grass, and watch. You get pleased with the sight of the grass, of the lawn, and get pleased with the feel when you walk on it, i.e. whenever you're touching and you're holding it together. And you just got to invest your time in that.
Yes.
Invest your time in each other.
And the investment is worth it.
The investment is worth it. It's work.
It's work.
It's work.
But it's worth it.
But it's worth it. So we're going to leave you on that, because I don't think we can do it better than that. So until next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And this has been Better Marriage Daily, where we gave you tips on how to love each other in spite of each other so that you can have a better marriage daily. Until next time, we'll holler.
Baby, I'm gonna take my time.